The Fifth Precept by Sonia Lee and Ian Rojas. The Life of Buddha. Buddhism is a philosophy that includes traditions, teachings, and customs created by Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha Gautama was born in Lumbini around the year 563 BCE. He was then raised in Kappa Ilvastu, where he grew up as a prince. After he was born, an astrologer visited Siddhartha's father, who was the king during this time, and told him in the future, your son will either become a holy man or great king. This was depending on what he would see outside the palace walls. For 29 years, the king never let his son leave the palace until one day Siddhartha snuck out on his own. When he was walking outside the walls, he encountered 4 people: an old man, a sick man, a corpse, and a monk. This event is called the 4 sightings. This then changed his view of how he thought, and he wanted to leave the palace life on a spiritual journey. When he started his spiritual journey, he went to all the famous religious mentors and mastered everything they had taught him. But in the end, he didn't find this helpful because it did not end his suffering. He then attempted asceticism. During this, he underwent long periods of fasting and pain. Because of this, he almost starved himself to death. In the end, he had figured out that this was not needed because he still did not know how to end suffering. Later on, he tried a mindfulness meditation. This is when he discovered the middle way. One day, he decided that he would not move from his meditation spot, which was at the Bodhi tree, until he reached enlightenment. After many days, he was finally able to reach the state of being enlightened. Buddha then established the 4 Noble Truths, which he then spread along with his teachings to his ex-followers. He then made the Deer Park Sermon, which was the first sermon of Buddha. Within the 4 Noble Truths, he made the Eightfold Path. This was the guide for the way out of suffering, which was Buddha's goal for his spiritual journey that he had achieved. To further help, Buddha made the code of ethics called the 5 Precepts for his followers to live by. The 5 Precepts were the basic guide of ethics to help them along the path. This guide was called the 5 Precepts of Buddha. Those ethics are to stay away from murder, stealing, sex, lying, and alcohol. These ethics are set up to being a Buddhist, or the initiation of commitments to be made. To stray away from these commitments is the betrayal of Buddhism. In teens, following the Buddhist path, the last precept may be the hardest to follow. Thich Nhat Hanh says that not only is alcohol toxic, but so is society. The present-day mind in teens is very much intoxicated. Things such as TV, magazines, books, and music is so toxic to the mind. Yes, the 5th precept is very emphasized on the drinking concept, but Buddha says that the body is a pure thing to handle. To betray or harm the body is a betrayal. Television shows are now more vulgar and, for the most part, inappropriate. This is what Thich Nhat Hanh was saying about intoxication by television. As for magazines, books, and music, he is not saying that all of them are bad. Same goes along with television. Not all of these things are bad. The bad essence that comes out of these things is ultimately how do you think of them in your mind. In other words, How do these affect your mind? Do they affect your mind in a good way or in a bad way? That's what Thich Nhat Hanh is saying. To misuse these things and intoxicate yourself is a betrayal to your Buddhist way. The precept is basically a vow you make. It is an oath to take care of your body physically and mentally. This means that you see your body as a sacred thing, and looking at it, you know that it is a sacred thing given to you by your mother and father. You must also realize that other people benefit from the actions you make. For example, future generations, such as your child, may see you taking in alcohol. That child may see that as an okay thing to do. We must show the future generation the good of the world. You want your children to follow good and keep a vow you have made. In all, the mind is a powerful part of your body. To be unmindful of your actions is to destroy your body. To consume an unhealthy diet is destroying your body. The fifth precept is all about being aware of what you take into your body. The Buddha is in search for enlightenment. Was kindly offered a bowl of rice by a lady walking by. Take in things that are good. Food is sacred blessing given to us by nature. Be mindful of food that you are eating. This is how to be thankful for the gift of food. You ever hear the phrase, "You are what you eat"? That is a general meaning behind this precept. Consumption also includes taking in drugs. Drugs is one of the biggest intoxicants of the body. This totally destroys the body, even scientifically. Drugs kill brain cells, which is destroying the mind. This precept is a great tool to inspire someone to avoid drugs. To practice precepts is to follow Buddha. These precepts are a set of ethics that can change the world. If the whole humankind followed these, the world would be very much different.
I'll be guiding you through a meditation today. To start off, I would like you to get into a comfortable position that would help you concentrate the best. Now, I would like you to slowly close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Taking a deep breath, exhale through the nose. Be conscious of yourself breathing in and out. You may begin to feel your body slow down and relax. Breathe out all your stress and thoughts. The only thought you should be in your mind is the mindfulness of your breathing. The body is a pure thing that is handed down from ancestor to ancestor. To consume, listen, or take in any toxic substances is harmful to your body's purity. Even thoughts can be poisonous to the body. The fifth precept explains how the body should be pure physically and mentally. Okay, Sonia.